Hey guys, Chungdha here. In this video, I'm going to challenge myself to make the MKBHD intro of 2020, and I'm just going to make it out of memory without even looking at it. It's a very interesting intro because it's just basically motion graphics without having any footages. So yeah, let's go start and make it from scratch. So first, we're gonna make a new sequence, new item here, choose sequence. Gonna make it 4K, so it's bit future proof, and if we have 4K videos you can yeah, basically use it. So being 4K, and new item also, we're gonna make a new color matte, choose OK. Gonna make it 85 black, so it's like a very light grayish color, because it has like that square with like a bevel, but for the bevel we need to have like white to make that bevel obvious. So we're gonna drag this onto the timeline here. So his intro is pretty short. I think 5 seconds is actually enough for that. So now we are going to duplicate this color matte, hold down Alt, go up here. And I know that his intro has like a few frames of nothing first, then the grid starts to come up. So hold down the arrow key 4 times to jump 4 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will be like our 4 frames of nothing first, and then the effects come in. So now we need to make that grid pattern. So for that we go to effects, and we're going to video effects, go to generate, and we're going to use cell pattern. So this gives us this funky effect, and we're gonna abuse it so it becomes something different. So we're gonna change the disperse to 0, and that will align everything nicely. And we're going to change the contrast to 10,000. Just drag it all the way to 10,000 because you can't type it in as 10,000. And that. Now we have this nice pattern going on, and we're going to invert this so we have like this dots and patterns. And now we're going to change the blend mode to darken, so we have these dark dots, and I think these dots are not black but are reddish, so we're gonna use tint. I'm gonna grab it from my quick list, tint, and with tint we can change this black to a red. That it's not really obvious, but it's actually red now. And we are going to effects control. We're gonna animate these dots, because I remember the dots being big and then becoming smaller. But now this size looks okay, so let's hit the keyframe here, move this till the end, and I think 125, something like that. I think that looks fine, like this big, and then it becomes smaller. And we change this to Bezier. Let's pull this lever so it slows down over time. So it starts quick and then it slows down over time, becoming smaller. That looks fine. And now we need to animate this pattern so it's actually like moving around, because it's not like this static pattern. It has like a swirl going on, or like wavy effect. So to do that, we actually grab a effect called Turbulent Wave, or Turbulence Displays. Grab that, put it onto the color matte here. It will already add an effect, but it's a bit too funky. So we're going to effects control, we're gonna alter this. going to change the amount here to 20. And we're going to change the size here to 400. So that already gives it that effect. And we're going to pin it to horizon. And I think this should be fine. Okay, so now we need to make it move. So for that, we're going to change the evolution here. We're going to hit the stopwatch to add a keyframe. And we're going to make this 2x. So that will have like a 2 times full evolution. I think that should give enough of like movements going on. It looks right. Oh, there's some funkiness here going on. Let's see if we pin all, if we have more or less this funkiness. Maybe instead of turbulent, we want this to be bulge. It has less that funkiness going on. Still gives us that movement. Bulge and then pin to horizon. Yeah, that will lessen that funky edge stuff. So what we see, I remember it's not full pattern. We have like blotches, areas that shows, areas that disappears. So for that we need to get like a special thing going on. So we're gonna actually grab the color mat and drag this on top of here. That's short. So for this we are going to use a very special effect. We're going to use under the Immersive Effects. So Immersive Effects is basically 3D effects for like VR, so immersive video. And then we have the fractal noise, so that makes like a smoky, cloudy effect, which can be used for certain things. So this we're gonna add the contrast to 400. We're gonna change the complexity. We don't need it to be like that complex looking, like that. Sub influence to 100. So we have that. And now we are going to change the evolution at a keyframe here. Move this keyframe over and let's make this 3x. So it has like quite fast movement. So when we play this, we see like it's moving about. So this will alter also like the circles that appears and disappears. However, because we see this top bottom doesn't have like any good coverage, so we're gonna scale this up slightly so we covered that like this. 125 is enough. That looks all right. So now we are going to add a track matte key. So under keying, track matte key to the layer under it, color matte under it. So we can use this as a matte. And gonna change this to Luma and choose V3. Now when we play this, we see like some areas that has like the dots covered and some of them appearing. So that works. And now we need to do some animations. So one of the animation that we need is here is basically a circle that appears. So this one we're gonna right mouse click and nest. That's okay. And double click on here. So right now we need to make a new black video, press OK, this on top of here. So with this black video, we're gonna animate like a circle that actually comes up. So this we're gonna make 1 second, this black video. So this is like an entire second that circle starts. And we're gonna grab an effect called circle. So under generate, we have this circle, put it onto the black video. Going to change here to select the blending mode to stencil alpha, and we're going to make this inverted, and we're going to change the radius here. So we start at 0, move this to the front here, and then we scale this all the way up until it fills the entire screen. Like that. It fills the screen. Move this to the end. Right mouse click and choose Bezier, and also at the start right mouse click and choose Bezier. So it slowly starts and also slows down slightly at the end. Now we go back here, we will see this animation going on. So the circle spreading out. That looks fine. And let's see, pretty much have the background. Now we need to make that square for the logo. So for that we are going to use the ellipse tool. So under the pen, hold it down, and then we have the ellipse tool. So hold down Shift and then drag a circle. And this will be just a perfect circle, and we're gonna move this to the center of the screen. And I think this size looks fine to me. And we're gonna hold down the ellipse tool and choose the pen tool again. Now we're gonna hit the circle, and we're gonna grab these Beziers to change this circle into like a square-ish shape, because there isn't like a direct tool to make like a square with rounded circles. We are doing it this way. So like that, and then the last one like that. So yeah, there is a old text tool that does have that, but yeah, it means also like having less things that we can choose afterwards. But the thing that we need right now is also the drop shadow here, because we're gonna actually use it to achieve a certain thing. So actually the fill, we're gonna also make this to 85 here. So that is 85. Why is the shadows? That is odd. Let's see if we duplicate this, if it fixes it. Okay, that fixed that. So what we need for the shadow here is to spread out, move out like that, and then feather all the way. Move out a little bit more. And we don't need it to be this dark. Like that. Should be fine. So this one we can delete. And this one we actually are going to duplicate. Control C, Control V. And we're gonna change this angle here, so it's like the opposite, and we're going to change the color here to white. That's okay, and we're going to change this brightness of that, and this one shouldn't stick out that much. So move this back a little. Actually, also the other one, let's alter that a little bit. That. So now it looks like it has like a bevel. So now we need to animate this square. So we start at 1 second, hit the keyframe here, and add a keyframe here. Then to 0 here. I'm gonna right mouse click here, add a bezier, pull this out. Like that. See if it's straight. Like that. And to 2 seconds. Actually, we do a cut here so we don't mess things with like movements. Let's remove this here. Oh. Move the keyframes entirely, and then go to 2 seconds. Do a cut here also, and then from here we're gonna animate this one. Hit the stopwatch to add a keyframe, and then go to 4 seconds, and then to 0. And here, right mouse click, bezier, and pull this so it slowly goes out, or hit increase speed. So it should just open, hold it, and then whoop. So the reason why I'm cutting it, otherwise if you just do bezier, it will sometimes like get like weird pulses, and just by cutting the text, and then yeah, it kind of like won't affect the in between, so it doesn't like pulse or do weird movements. So basically we have here the animation. There's an extra final one which is like a iris out. However, there is an issue here because we've used the immersive effect, which is a weird effect because I'm not quite sure why Adobe did it, but if you do any extra effect on top of that effect, it will cause it to fail and not work. So right now, basically we have this, and we just need to render this, and then afterwards add the yeah, the final effect on top. So this, we can just now render a video out for that. So export media, and now gonna export 4K video and just export this. And now we can grab that video, see if there's nothing weird going on. So see, we have this, and yeah, the final effect what we can use is just a plain iris out. You could use more, yeah, you could use a circle effect, or you can just basically use an iris out like this. And this is the final result. And yeah, you guys in the comment can write how close am I making this basically out of memory. Of course I didn't make the logo part, but yeah, if you guys want to make it similar with your own logo, of course you will be basically making these. And yeah, how amazing is Premiere Pro? I'm doing all this inside of Premiere Pro. I didn't use After Effects, and I'm able to make this whole entire motion graphics in here. And yeah, it should, I feel like it's pretty close. It might have like slight things that is different, but I feel like I'm pretty close with this. So hope you guys found this a very useful video and hope you learned something from it. And if you are new to this channel and want to see more tutorials like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button here below. Thank you guys for watching, love you all, and see you out.